Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon. It's been a long, early morning. I've got I've got to digest this game for a minute, and I'm not gonna go over the top and panicking. I've got to definitely digest this one a minute. There was some fairly typical things that happened, but need to think about it a little bit more. And definitely, this is one worthy of a rewatch because there was some serious oddities in this game here, and there's definitely going to be some. I don't think it was Casemiro going off. Actually, Casemiro was really poor today. I think it was Maguire more than anything. Um, we conceded with just poor box defending, kind of per usual. Um, Maguire came off same as before. When Maguire doesn't play, those balls that come into the middle, we defend really, really poorly. And those balls that come into the middle, Casemiro wasn't really doing anything today, to be quite honest. And I think Casemiro on the ball today was dreadful as well. When it was probably his worst game of the season. So I don't think it was Casemiro. I think it was more Maguire. This keeps happening with Maguire, unfortunately. He was so good today. I think both goals come down to that a little bit. The other thing is, there's just a lot to think about with this. So I want to run through it maybe in a timeline of how I saw the game. Casemiro was great. Are you joking? Casemiro couldn't complete a pass today. He was really, really bad. It looked like he was in the center of a rondo for most of the game. He's been really good recently. Today, he was awful. Absolutely awful. I don't know. But I'll run through it in my feelings about from start to finish on this game as well. I thought we started well, created well. We were keeping Spurs to absolutely nothing, like doing absolutely nothing for really the whole first half. First 50 minutes, something like that. Then the same thing kind of happens. We go into that second half, and we start like losing the ball. We back up a bit. And the biggest problem I felt today was we could not keep the ball. Our attacking was awful. After like the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, our attacking was absolutely terrible. I don't think we parked the bus. I think we literally couldn't progress the ball up the pitch and keep it. That's how I saw it today. Bruno and Casemiro were playing with a bomb today, honestly. They were, if you rewatch a lot of that game, and I definitely will, that's my impression of it in watching it through the first half and the second. Both Bruno and Casemiro were terrible with the ball today. Cunha was not keeping the ball and was losing it a lot as well. But at the same time, if he's my manager, not yours, then you're not a United fan. So see you later. But at the same time, Bruno and Casemiro were offering absolutely zero support. Zero support. In addition, Bruno gets one-on-one with the keeper, messes it up. Šeško gets one-on-one with the keeper, messes it up, and gets injured, unfortunately, which really hurt us. When we went down to 10 at that point, I thought that was it. We were 1-1. We were 1-1 at that point. We had just, and we got it was a great play from Mount to put Šeško in. He just hasn't been good the last couple of games. And unfortunately, that injury did not look great. Hopefully he is okay. And it's not as serious as it appeared at the time. But yeah, that was rough. That was rough. The front three was, with Mount, was definitely better at controlling and keeping the ball and keeping the game. I would probably go with Cunha, Mount, and Bumo in the front three for a while. Šeško was really slow. Really slow with the ball today. Same kind of as last week. When he plays against these physical center backs, he just takes too long. You don't have that extra second in the Premier League. You've got to shoot. He had 2 chances where you've got to just shoot. I don't want to lay into him. Like I said, I think he's a good player. I think he'll be good. I think he's had a lot of good games, but he's so slow on the draw in these games. He's got to be faster against these very physical center backs. You can see why, it's just, he thinks he has extra time, and you don't, man. You just don't. You don't have that time. Yeah, that's really the issue. He's taken a long time to get the ball off from his side. Not that I think we performed really well. Okay, don't get me wrong here. There's plenty of other issues there. But yeah, 24 out of 29 passes is really poor, by the way. From your midfielder, that's not enough. It's not enough, it's not enough wins. Casemiro was dribbled past twice, had an error leading to a shot. 10 possessions lost and only 24 passes completed is a really low number. Him and Bruno were really not playing well today. I'm just telling you, they just weren't. And both of their pass completion was way too low today. Bruno lost it 17 times with 81% passing. For your 2 midfielders, these numbers are way too low. Way too low. Yeah, I'll show you some of the numbers and you can look at it. Because there was a long stretch where every time we were trying to move the ball forward from the middle and such, we would lose it. And there was a lot through these 3 right here, just losing the ball today. These numbers are too low for players who need to retain the ball. These numbers are just too low, man. They're just too low. It's just too many turnovers. Like, look at the number of turnovers. For a low pass completion, it's just too much, turning the ball over. They were just tossing it back to the opposition every time we had it. And that for me was definitely a big part of the problem in that respect, in letting us keep it. Because even before the subs, we look at what time the subs came in, right? The subs came in at 72 minutes, the majority of them, right? Look, we were bad. We were bad before that. Spurs had all the ball, all of the control. So I don't think it was the midfield in that respect, the changes or even the subs. I think the one that hurt us the most was Maguire coming off, because immediately we lost a lot of presence in the middle of the pitch. The moment Maguire comes off, and it's not the first time. It's not the first time at all. We were giving them nothing, even with everything they were doing. Exactly this. Box defending is our Achilles heel. We win this game if Maguire's not gone off. Exactly that. I'm not saying it was a poor performance. We could not get the ball forward. But the moment Maguire comes off, we can't defend the box. We just cannot. We can't. That's the biggest thing. It's happened. It happened last week. It happened even like against Chelsea when Maguire comes off. It happens every week without Maguire. And it is a concern, because Maguire's not going to be here forever. And he's getting injuries and all of that. But that's why we need to control, we need to control the ball better. Yeah. Well, look, I agree with you, but we need to control the ball better. That's the biggest thing. We've got to control the ball better. And I felt like the other thing that, was interesting here was that, I think early in the first half, Dorgu was doing really well defensively, shutting down crosses. But no, we can't control the ball. And the question that we don't have, that I can't answer here is, the question that I can't answer here is, you can't say, no, I didn't say losing our center back takes control of the game, because it's a multifaceted problem. The 2 problems are, 1, we can't control the game when we're giving it away in the middle constantly. for sure. Casemiro, Bruno, Cunha, they definitely were losing the ball way too much. Way, 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 way too much. The second thing was that we lose box defending. And it's like we can't lose both. You know what I mean? If we can't control the game, then we have to have really, really good box defending. We have to have really, really good box defending if we can't control the game. But if we can't control the game and we don't have box defending, then we're going to concede chances. It's worrying that we can't control the game against the Spurs midfield. It's like the third choice midfield. Well, yeah, but I mean, we've seen this before, unfortunately, and it is a concern. It is a concern. We give up the ball just way, way, way too much and too easily. And then you have to factor in, you go down to 10 men and concede again. And that was just awful, awful luck. Absolutely awful luck. Just terrible luck on that. Just terrible luck on that. Unfortunately, that is the truth. Yeah, I don't know, man. It wasn't a good performance. It wasn't a good performance overall. I'm loath to like pick out exact individual things. I thought the first half was good. And then I thought the second half was really, 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 really poor. We just could not keep the ball. Could not keep the ball at all. Very frustrating, Yeah. Well, you can say again that if Casemiro was on, we wouldn't have conceded. We conceded 2 to Forest last week with Casemiro on the pitch. It's not the problem. The problem is the lack of control more than anything. Again, it's the lack of control. That's the performance issue that I'm seeing personally, is the lack of control. We conceded 2 to Forest last week. Forest. In 5 minutes, we conceded 2. Casemiro was on the pitch. Okay. We did not have good box defending in that game. No Maguire. But the lack of control is a bigger problem than the box defending aspect of it. Whenever we don't have both, we don't. The control comes from the midfield. I agree. When Bruno and Casemiro are off their game, we cannot control the ball. And today they were very, very off. Very, very off. I definitely will rewatch this one and have to let it percolate a little bit. It's been 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. now. But so I have to think about it more. But that was my biggest thing. I was watching the game, watching in the watch along, talking with people, going over what I personally was seeing, what I think other people were seeing. Casemiro, I would have subbed him at halftime. It was just turning the ball over consistently and constantly and winning 0 second balls. And you can find it. Watch. I'll show you too. Look at the recoveries. Look at the tackles. You know what I'm saying? 35% tackles won to 58%. We lost this in the middle. We were losing second balls and we were not controlling the game. Look at there's a lot of things wrong here. Look at the ground duels. Look at how much we turn the ball over. Just poor in that respect. We did not control the ball in the middle. And then you look at where both goals come from. It's right where Maguire plays. No, I'm not worried about the table. The table is what it is. It'll sort itself out over the festive period. It's a missed opportunity. It will probably end up still within 1 or 2 points of top 5 end of the weekend. I don't really care. The table is what it is. But yeah, man, it's just the quality just sucked. But it's a different type of control. Cunha's not been amazing. Yeah, for sure. He was struggling a bit, but he definitely struggled. Yeah. There's a few things that went wrong in that today. At the same time, Šeško and Bruno should be scoring their chances. They're one-on-one. It's like that's the frustrating part of this all. Like, is that we were poor, so were Spurs. Bruno's got an open goal right here, in on net, can't take it down, can't control it, misses. Šeško can't get his shot off. We got to be better with that. We've got to be better with that. Those chances, we have to do better. We have to do better, but we're 5 unbeaten. The only team besides Arsenal that hasn't lost in the last 5. So you got to take some of the pluses. 3 big away games in there: Spurs, Forest, and Liverpool, where we haven't won in ages on any of them. So it's still 5 unbeaten. You got to take that. There's concerns, though. Definitely there's concerns, but we've got a couple of weeks. Šeško was in on goal twice and got 0 shots. You know what I mean? You have to consider that as a factor. You have to consider that as a factor in this. So my take is, and I'll get to the donations in a minute and look at a few other things, but my take on this game is, number one, we were very, very poor at controlling and building up the ball through the midfield and into Cunha. That was poor. Secondly, we did not take our chances that we had that should have been better. And thirdly, our box defending does not survive Maguire being off the pitch. Does not survive Maguire being off the pitch. And that's the way that I see it. Beyond that, there's a lot of little things. Šeško too slow today, needs time. The Bundesliga effect. It's looking like we must make PL proven players in the summer if we want instant impact. I don't disagree with you. That extra second he feels he has that he doesn't. That extra second he feels he's got that he does not have is hurting him every single time. It very much is. Becoming more obvious, the problem is 100% not the system, it's the players. The system works well. We're a left wing back, center mid away from being truly special. I think 2 midfielders, because it's up and down with Bruno sometimes. 2 midfielders and a wing back. But I don't know. The center backs too. I think we need a big physical player like Maguire as well. The Bruno chance was difficult. I don't think it's that difficult. Like, I get it's difficult. It's not easy, but it's not that difficult either. He was in on goal. He was in on goal, man. He's got to bring it down. He's got to at least work the keeper with it. He's got to at least work the keeper. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to at least get it on there, So, yeah, I don't know. Ahmad was great. Mbeumo was great. But yeah, we need better, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's like, it's hard. It's hard to analyze these. I got to watch it back again as well, but it's really, really hard to analyze because there was just so many poor passes. I mean, there was a point in the second half where every time there's a loose ball, Bruno's running at it and smashing it off of a Spurs player out of bounds or back into the attacking area. You got to watch it again. I'm not a hater. Come on, man. Come on, man. You guys are talking about standards on this. You're talking about standards on this. He has to bring the ball down. It's a normal pass. It's a normal pass that he's brought down and he's handled and probably received 100 times in his career. Ahmad brings it down. Mbeumo brings it down. Cunha brings it down. I'm talking about the quality of play. We're talking about the standards. We're talking about the standards of a player here in terms of producing and in terms of the level that is required. Yes, you have to be able to bring those things down. Yes, you do. Because top forwards and top players will take that and turn it into a chance, 100%. But it was poor all around. It was poor all around, 100%. The chat just want me to, do one thing and one thing only. and that's okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. No, it's not biased. Honestly, it's not biased. I'll even try to find it, if I can, and I'll show it. I'll even try to find it to show you. I'm telling you, I think you're overthinking how hard of a chance this was. I really do. I think people are really, really overthinking how hard of a chance this was, because it was not that bad. I'm gonna show you the image, okay? Here. And look at how much daylight he has between him and the defender. Ready? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. That's a chance that a top professional can bring down. Don't tell me that it's like crazy for him to bring this chance down. Look at how much space he has. Look at where he is. Look at how much space he has when the ball is coming down. And then he just takes a poor touch. He just miscontrolled it. It's that simple. It's just that simple. He just miscontrolled it. He has his body between himself and the defender. He just miscontrols it. It's that simple. It's not more complicated than that. He just miscontrols it. You watch it again, you'll see that's all there is to it. He just miscontrols it. And he has all day to bring it down too. And then he snaps at it. He just miscontrols it. He just miscontrols it. He miscontrolled it. It went away from him. That was it. End of the day. Not a big deal, but it was a missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity, unfortunately, and a good one at that. But yeah, there was I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm okay again with Šeško growing into it. I'm okay. No, I'm not going to go on about it forever. It's a chance that top players will do. Yeah, you're losing time to be a Ugarte hater. Yeah, I don't know. Ugarte was poor, is what it is, man. Again, I think it's minimalizing it to put it any on one player like people want to, because again, Casemiro had an awful game, couldn't control the game, was doing poorly. Ugarte came on, was poor. Maguire comes off, we can't defend, was poor. Bruno was poor. It is what it is, man. We had a lot of poor thing. Correct, AB. Even if you can't hit it on the half volley, just bring it down and put your body in the way. That's all. Just put the body in the way. It is what it is. Same as the chance Cunha missed versus Fulham. Agreed. And Cunha should have finished that one as well. He should have finished that one as well. Masraoui was poor today, I thought, as well, for sure. I think Dorgu was actually quite good. I think Shaw was very, very good today. Pretty flawless from Shaw, actually, per usual. It's one of those games, man. You take a look at it and you go, look, we can look at so much. He's not nearly as responsible as people are making it. I mean, even on the offside line, he gets shoved deeper by Bentancur in that moment and is running back to get onside. He has no time to get back onside. So, I mean, people can do what they want. He wasn't standing there doing nothing. He had no chance of getting back onside by the time that shot came in after the shove from Bentancur. So, fuck it. It is what it is, unfortunately. An unlucky deflection. Defending was poor. I mean, it's like saying De Ligt was poor because he deflected it in net. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, man. It happens. Yeah, I know. It's always like that. You got to deflect everything to Ugarte to not take responsibility for the other players. We didn't control the game for a long time. We did not control the game for a long time. Okay. That's what I'm looking at in terms of the performance overall. In general, I could blame Ahmad for not closing down the cross on the first goal. You can blame a lot of stuff for a lot of individual players on different things. Dorgu was closing down crosses in the first half. On the other side, it was a big part of why we defended well. We let them cross down Ahmad's side when he switched out there. That was one of the reasons why Mazraoui was playing out there instead of Ahmad. We can say that that's bad by Ahmad, letting those crosses in. I don't care. I care about the control of the game in this instance. And in that respect, I don't think we controlled the game particularly well. Not particularly well. We controlled the game very, very poorly. We treated the game very, very poorly. Dorgu got subbed off. I don't think it mattered by the end of it. So it was a sort of a whatever to me. Ugarte was not the reason the first goal happened. See, that's where it goes crazy. Like, people will blame him for absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. It's very, very weird. The whole game, we were shuttling players into the wide areas, not trying to tackle them right in the center of the pitch. That was the entire game plan. Shuttle them wide, block the crosses. He shuttled him wide. It went to Ahmad's man. Ahmad didn't close the cross down. And then the ball comes straight into the middle. It is what it is, Yeah, Dorgu got a yellow right before that. There was a lot of reasons for the conceding. Pinning everything on individuals doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that Maguire individually makes our box defending so good that we can how would I put it? We can handle mistakes when we have Maguire on the pitch because he defends the box so well. When Maguire comes off the pitch, all the other mistakes get kind of exacerbated, if you get what I'm saying. That's my point on Maguire. Doesn't change the other mistakes not happening. It just means that we can't, they hurt us a lot more when Maguire comes off the pitch. That's for sure. But the control is the bigger concern. The ability to keep in they did not create good chances when Maguire was on. They really didn't, brother. They really, really didn't, man. They just didn't. They had 0.07 expected goals in the first half, dude. I'm sorry, but they really didn't create much. They created, all game, they only created 0.82. If you want to look at it from a serious sense here, they made they made 0.96 the entire game. They made 0.96. That's it. They made 0.96 expected goals the entire game. They didn't have these great chances. Our keeper had to make a couple saves. That's why you have a keeper. Lamens saved a few shots that were right at him. I'm not saying Lamens did bad, but the Spurs were not battering us with chances. Even the chances they scored were pretty much just bad luck. What I'm saying is that when it's Maguire on there, he tends to prevent those. He probably would block the cross coming in. Ours was 0.63. We didn't create much either. We didn't even get shots off for a couple of our better chances. So we were poor, very, very poor at creating chances today. It was our worst game by far in creating chances. You know what I mean? Lamens had 2 good saves, from okay chances, and that's it. That's what happens. They didn't create much. Maguire prevents them. Yeah, Maguire does prevent the first goal and probably the second goal because they're not big chances. They're just half chances that we defend poorly and we make too many domino effect of mistakes on. They had 2 shots. They had how many shots on target? They had 4 shots on target and scored 2 goals. I don't know, man. It is what it is. It is what it is in that respect. It was the same thing last week. We go back to it. Forest get a couple half chances on poor crosses that end up being goals, but a lot of the attacks were coming from turning the ball over in the center. A lot of the attacks were turning the ball over in the center of the pitch, unfortunately. That's the biggest issue that we have. We shouldn't be in a position where we have to defend that much, but we were just giving them the ball back constantly, over and over and over, giving them the ball back and struggling to produce. So I don't think the subs were wrong at all. I don't think the subs were wrong at all. I think the subs were fine. I think that the problem is we just don't have players that will improve the levels. You know what I mean? In that respect, we just don't have players that can sub on that really improve the levels. The drop with the Suns per member is January key. And that's the thing is I agree with you. We don't get better. When we first made subs, it was better. Ahmad went wide. Šeško went forward. We got back in control of the game. Then Maguire goes down injured. We make a few and realize what happened here. Okay. We made 6 subs and then Šeško gets injured. Made 3 subs and then Šeško gets injured like 10 minutes later too. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, there was some bad luck in this. Mount was good. The move for Ahmad out wide was good. A lot of it was just, I don't know, man. A lot of it's just shit you can't deal with, unfortunately. Shit that is just unlucky at the end of the day. But we just were bad at controlling the games. That's what we need to position a lot better for is how we control the game for the 70 minutes that we should have controlled the game for. That's what worries me most of all in that is that we should have been able to pin Spurs and press them because we were pressing them very well. We were pressing them. When we pressed, we were good. We'd win the ball back. But when we had the ball, we would just give it right back to them. We just constantly gave the ball right back to Spurs. And the injury, if Maguire doesn't get injured, we probably don't concede in that game. But still, that doesn't mean it wasn't a good performance. Casemiro comes off, we conceded like Forest. That doesn't make any sense. Casemiro didn't come off last game. He was on when we conceded twice. He was on when we conceded twice, man. I'm saying people are coming up with narratives that aren't true. Casemiro and Bruno have been our best midfield, but today they were bad. We could, and that was why we couldn't control the game, man. You know, hello run of games during AFCON will kill us. I'm very worried about Ahmad and Mbeumo, for sure. I'm very, very worried about that. No doubt. Definitely very, very worried about that. Yeah, I don't know. We have to figure something out. Like we still are living and dying by essentially Bruno, Casemiro midfield, right? At the end of the day, that's how I see our games. If Casemiro and Bruno are good, we win. Casemiro and Bruno are bad, we struggle. Now, the positive I take from that is that they played bad and we still we played bad and we still got a point away. And you say, I would have bitten your hand off for 11 of 15 points. And that's the truth of it. At the end of the day, we still got the point away. And, you know, that is what it is. I disagree about the game plan being second balls and long balls today. We were very normal. We just gave the ball away way too much today in normal situations too. Like it wasn't like the midfield was spamming long balls. We were just losing it. There was a point, I'm trying to remember. There was a point at like 66 minutes where Mazraoui was still on the right side and Bruno's running down the middle and Mazraoui's absolutely free, right? And Bruno doesn't pass to him. He doesn't release him. He turns back into danger, loses the ball. It goes back into Ahmad. And then Ahmad just gives the ball away in that instance. But it was so weird because it was like Mazraoui's free down that right side, running in on net, and Bruno cuts back into pressure and loses the ball. I don't understand. It was a lot of stuff like that happened. You know, a lot of stuff like that happened. You know, that's what I'm talking about when I say we can't control it. Like just a lot of poor decisions in possession that lead to just giving the ball away. It was just weird. He was like trying to dribble. Cunha did the same thing, but I also would strongly suggest he was not being offered much support in that instance from the middle, which is part of the issue. But I'm gonna watch it again. But yeah, look, it's one I'm I don't know, man. I take the fact that we came back and got a point again, especially this. I take the fact that 3 away games in a row at Anfield, at Forest, at Spurs, where we've lost. We have not won any of those games in ages, like literally like 12 games. And we got a win, 2 points. We've lost at Spurs the last 3 times away. We've lost at Forest the last 3 times away. We've lost at Anfield the last like 15 times away. We won, we drew. It's progress. It's not a straight up progress, but it's a little more leveled off. There's clear improvements needed, but I don't know. I think this is how we're going to be until we change the midfielders, until we get new players. Honestly, I think this is what we have to accept. We'll be better at home. We'll win quite a few games when Casemiro and Bruno are good. And we'll have some struggles that hopefully we can keep into draws when they're not good. That's how I feel. It's like this is we're finding our level. And our level is probably about 1.5 to 1.8 points per game. I think that's where I think we'll get in the 60s. And it'll be a tight race for Champions League, but we'll get into Europe. 11 out of 15. 11 out of 15 in the last 5. I mean, that's more than 2 points per game. I'm happy with that. Yeah. 2 points per game gets you top 4, top 5, So yeah, if we're winning our games at home and drawing away, it's enough. It's enough. I think we'll be in 4th to 6th is where we finish. And I think we're starting to find the real level where we're at. And until we can upgrade the team more, that's what it is. Now, there's more improvements that can be made in the team. There's more improvements that we'll see. Like, hopefully, Šeško gets better and improves because he definitely struggled today. Hopefully, we see further growth with Cunha, with Ahmad, with all of that, with Mbeumo. But yeah, that's the main thing. Last season, we'd have lost both Forest and A. I agree with that. We're on 1.63. Yeah, exactly. With a rougher start of the season, right? But the last, eight games? What do we got in the last 8 games, right? 4th, I'll make a huge donation. I think we can get it. You'll buy steak dinner. What do we have in our last 8? Like, I'm just thinking about the Burnley game. No, I'm thinking about since the last break. What do we have? We had only 3 points. We're on 18 points. We had 4 points. So we have 14 in our last 8. So since the first international break, we're on 1.75. Yeah. Throw in Elliot Anderson there and we're in for CL. I agree with that. If we get a better midfielder, then the level will go up. We need to upgrade in a few positions for sure. We do. Reinforcements in January would really, really help because I'm starting to just see it's like we also definitely had a tough start to the season. Tough schedule. I mean, look, we've played some of our toughest away games. City, Liverpool, Spurs, these are tough away games. I think we'll be okay. I think we come back from the break. We'll still be around where we are. We'll be within a game. Each week, it's going to be like, all right, if we win, we go up into 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and eventually it'll sort itself out. I think it'll sort itself out, but I'm still looking at 4th through 6th. Depends though. One of the worst teams at home, we only managed to draw. Chelsea should have scored 4 past them last week. Okay, fine. Chelsea lost to Brighton. We beat Chelsea. Like, you can't do these comparables back and forth. We had a poor game, we had a poor game. That's all. That's the biggest thing. We played poorly. Like I said this early in the season, and I still feel this way. Unfortunately, we're still a bit live and die by Bruno. You can measure our performances based on Bruno and Casemiro. Want a bet? If it's like I don't know, like a friendly one. Chelsea lost to Sunderland. Yeah, Chelsea lost to Sunderland at home. Like, whatever, shit happens. Like, whatever, man. The next run is going to be very, very important. But no, I think we're right around where we should be. We're within striking distance of top 5. We're unbeaten in 5. We'll see. A steak dinner bet? No, because I don't want to do bets with viewers about giving you guys something, this kind of things, that kind of stuff. Like, we'll see. I'll figure out something. Yeah, I mean, it is funny. Spurs are in 3rd place in the league, and we got to draw away. Like, whatever, man. It is what it is. You want to take me out to dinner? That's fine. But yeah, I don't want to do those. Like, we've played 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th already this season, by the way, as well as 8th. The only team we haven't played in the top 8 is Bournemouth, for what it's worth. Without AFCON, I've had some hope for Champions League. I'm hoping it's only 2 or 3 games. Not getting Welbeck was a mistake. Hey, look, I kind of agree. I've been talking about maybe needing a backup striker. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's kind of showing itself that we need a little bit more. Well, I don't know, guys. I've woken up for 5:30 a.m. games and felt a lot worse. Our last 6:30 a.m. game was Brentford. We lost 2-1. This was better than that. Amram said Casemiro. He does. He has to. He can't play the full 90, and he was poor. And maybe he had an injury or a knock too. I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah. Look, I'm settled on this game. I feel calm about this one. I feel like we're okay. We've gotten better. But we're finding the level that we're at with the players that we have. And I think it's getting into Europe, and that's where we can be. Again, I think that our schedule will improve. I think that the form we're in is enough to get us where we should be until we can get some more midfielders and things like that. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. So let's do viewers, guys. I want to get some of your thoughts. I'm not happy about it because, like, after riding that, when we won those 3 games, people were like, "Can we win the league?" And I kept saying, God, no, we're not challenging. We're not even close. We're gonna be where we are because we just don't have enough good players as of yet. And I think that the last 2 games have brought us not down to earth, but down to a proper level of reality. What I'm happy with is that we're not losing them, because I do think we would have lost them in the past. And I think that instead it's a step up. You know what I mean? Like, our floor is higher, but it's not high enough yet. I hope we stick to his plan to make Bruno rotation 100%. But that's why we need more midfielders for sure. That's why we definitely need those midfielders. You know what I mean? We definitely need midfielders coming in. We definitely need that to help us out here because yeah. You get some rest, enjoy the day. Oh no, don't worry, I will. We'll do a few viewer call-ins if anybody wants to this morning, and then we will, and then I got to do quite a few things today. I probably won't get so much rest. I'm not upset at all because I don't think it was a good game, but it's obvious we're making progress. We're upset about drawing Spurs away. For sure. I'm happy with that. Yep. Look, at the end of the day, we are where we are. It's an early kickoff. It's away. It's rough. We didn't play particularly well, but we didn't lose. We got really unlucky with Šeško and the injury at the end there. We would not have gone down 2-1 if we were at 11 men either. I mean, all things considered, that really, really pushed us back. It's progress, and sometimes it's a bumpy progress, but it's progress all the same. Are you there, Jan? I can't see your camera. I don't know if you intended it to be on or off, but there you go. All right, let's get you on. How you doing, my friend?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm not happy about it because I obviously wanted to win. But if you would tell me like 2 games before that we would draw at Spurs, it's not a bad result, to be honest. Like we're not being the
Sure.
best. So I think if we would have gotten 4 points out of the last 2 games, we would have looked at this as quite a good result. But yeah, at least we
Yeah.
scored 2 late winners. Oh, equalizers, you know?
We keep doing that. We keep getting the late goals, and we were down to 10 men at that time. So it's good.
Yeah.
There's like I said, there are progress. I think we're just limited, and we're living and dying by certain aspects of performance, for sure. And I think it's like till we get better players, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
this. We win,
Yeah,
we have
and I
off
actually
games.
wanted to suggest you to look at the player because I really think I don't know if you know him. He's from Czech and he started playing for Wolves this season. He's a center back called Krejci, and
Crazy. Okay.
he's plays in the back three like for the last 4 or 5 years. He used to play for Girona. Now he's playing in Wolves. I think he got there for like 30 million. He's great in the air. He's left-footed. He's like 190 something, so he's quite tall. I
Yeah.
think I
Okay.
think he could help us, and he's used to playing in the back three system. And plus, Wolves might go down, so it wouldn't be the
Right.
most expensive. I'm not saying he's the best player, but I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
think he would improve us. And
Well,
considering Luke Shaw,
yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, considering Luke Shaw isn't reliable long term, I don't think, unfortunately, and we have Aiden Haven't and Licha who also haven't hit the ground running. I think you
Yep.
might be worth to look at. I'm not tactical. I'm just passing my eye test, so I'm sure
Yeah.
you can look at it more detailed and tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I really think we should look at it more.
Yeah, no, I'll take a look, and for sure, I'm open. I'm definitely want to look at like center back ideas because again, I do strongly believe like when we're bad, you can see that our box defending needs improvement. You know what I mean? That when we're not playing well, that happens, and and we need help, and big physical Premier League defenders I
Yeah.
think can help us out.
I mean, it's his first season, so he's not been, Premier League proven yet in my eyes. But I think he's decent on the ball. He's very good in the air. I think he can help us with both offense and defense in that aspect. So I think he would be perfect, honestly. And he was the captain of the Sparta Prague team here in Czech at like 19 years of age, and he's still very
Yeah,
young. So I think he would be a very good signing for us.
nice, nice. I'll definitely take a look at him. Definitely. Otherwise, what do you think? Anything else on the game? Your thoughts? It's overall just
It was kind of boring, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
But I'm just gonna say Brian. Brian, he makes me smile every time I see
He
him on the
does, yeah.
ball. So I'm trying to search for positives, and definitely I would have definitely tried to bring even maybe Xerxes on instead of Sheshko,
Mm.
because Sheshko hasn't hit the ground running, and I think Xerxes deserves a chance, because there were points last season where he wasn't actually that bad, and I think he would have controlled the ball that Sesko couldn't, and maybe even got a shot off.
Yeah, could be, could be. If we're going for, I think it might be a way to add some extra control to the middle when we seem to be losing it a lot. I've definitely had kind of the same thoughts on Xerxes.
Yeah.
He might help support the midfield a bit better, help us keep control of, or get a little. We did get better control at a certain point, and then we started giving it away a bunch again. So maybe he
Yeah.
would have helped in that regard.
We definitely need wing back and a midfielder, though. That's the
Yeah,
priority first.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, my friend.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you for having me
Yeah, buddy.
on. Have a nice day.
You too. All right, Mesh. Let's go back in. Good to see you again. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. A little tired, but otherwise okay. Not bad.
I can imagine. Yeah. I think to get started off, it's a difficult draw to accept once again. After Forest, I think we were probably happy to take the draw, staving off a collapse against what looked like a better physical team. But
Yep.
this one feels like a disappointment, really. And none of the two goals, in my opinion, felt like massive mistakes, really. At least not
Yeah.
to the levels of the days of yore. You know, but talking about the offense, only 5 shots in total, only 0.63 xG, only 2 shots on target, and only one of these being from open play. That's a very slow start in the first 30 minutes with
Yep.
only one touch in the penalty area. that's just not good at all. I'm not going to be a negative Nelly. I hate that because this team has been far, far worse before. We've had to wake up very early in the morning to see very, very bad games. This is not
100%.
one of them. But we still have room to grow. We still have ways to go. And games like this will force us to keep our feet on the ground and remember that this is a team in progress. This is not the finished product.
For sure. And that's where I agree. I'm, in that, I remember after the 3 wins, I was saying, look, I'm going to be a little measured on this because I think we could lose at Forest, but it's clear to me what's going on. Like we could lose the next game or the next one. And it would be like, I'm not going to overreact to that either in that sense, because I know we're capable of putting in bad performances and that we're not there yet, but the progress is the lows are not as low. The lows are not as low. We're sitting here disappointed at the end of a 5-game unbeaten streak, 3 wins, 3 games of those away at grounds where we've lost the last 9 games between all 3 of them.
Yeah.
We beat at the hardest one at Anfield, which is ironic of it, of course, but that's how this team can be sometimes. And then, you get the draws at Forest and Spurs. So it's better to be disappointed that we're not winning every single game. We're real disappointed. But if you think about that, we're disappointed because we haven't won 5 in a row, which nobody's done yet this season. So I'm okay with being a little disappointed in that. It happens. We're not going to play great every single week. We need more. We know where the flaws are personnel wise to improve on that respect. We just need to do a bit better in there. And if we can get some reinforcements in January, I think it would really, really help for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna be a positive boy for once. I am gonna get branded as a Lomans Glazer at this point, but I'm very, very positive about him today. Even after conceding 2 again, I'm still gonna be positive on it, and I will stand on it. 2 crucial saves in the 54th and 56th minute. 2 brick cross collections, 10 for 23 on long balls, 17 for 30 on passes, which was 2 less than Vicario. In the first goal he conceded, he was defending it well before the deflection. The second goal he conceded, maybe he could have done a bit better. So I will concede that. And his coordinated movement to take out Brennan Johnson for the last goal, because Brennan Johnson was guarding De Ligt, and him going out to the near post.
Yeah, that was cool, actually. Yeah. No, I think Lom is a bit unlucky because, like you said, it was actually just 2 very rough deflections. And that's why I'm we weren't even that bad in conceding. There were really unfortunate goals, honestly. That ball, if De Ligt doesn't deflect it, not blaming De Ligt. You're a defender. You're doing your job, right? It's not. Lomans is saving it. If it doesn't, unfortunately, deflect off of De Ligt's foot. The second one is rougher for sure, but again, just unlucky deflections in both instances. So it's one of those, But I think Lomans has definitely done well and helped us, and I agree. But
that he has definitely. And I think the last couple of things that I wanted to mention was a couple of individual players I've mentioned. I thought Ahmad's 1-to-1 defending just wasn't very good enough. He was constantly getting beat on his side. Ahmad is not a defender, obviously, so I am not exactly sure if Antoine Semenyo will be a better replacement for him at that position. You will know better at this than I would. But
just mentioning that's why I'm saying, in talking about it, the first goal comes in, there's multiple mistakes in that sequence, but we're not closing the cross down, which Dorgu was doing on the other side in the first half, and was and it's why Mazraoui started playing defenders out wide, closing Tottenham's crosses down, because that's how they want to attack you. That's what they're all doing. Problem is, we have to sort that out, because no matter who's, again, aside from Maguire being on the pitch, every other time we're bad at crosses. Last game Casemiro was on, we still conceded twice from crosses. This game, Maguire is not off. The common theme is Maguire not being on the pitch. We can't defend those crosses. We're not great at closing down crosses, and we're not great at defending in the box when they come in without Maguire. So the only solution is, I guess that's why they want a center back. And I guess that's why we need midfielders, so we can control the games a bit better as well.
Yep, absolutely. And I think two more players that I wanted to mention. One was Šeško. I know he's going to get a lot of stick from everyone, somewhat deservedly, maybe. But again, I'm going to stand on the fact that he had to shoot that one-on-one. not shooting there was not good. I'm going to be a boomer, and I'm going to use Bill Belichick's line of "do your job." He just did not do his job, so there's that. He's got to do better. But I'm also hoping that his ankle wasn't rolled too badly, because it did look pretty bad. I'm really hoping it isn't too bad, because he's a big focal point for this offense. He can turn this around. I hope so, and I hope that he comes back better and stronger, and I hope that he becomes a lot more faster. He just needs to. I think Casemiro, again, I know that the midfield was disappointing today. I thought Casemiro was good defensively. He did look solid defensively. Offensively, the midfield is just not that great, and it really goes to show why we've been constantly talking about needing midfielder support, because we need it. We absolutely need it. Legs over everything. That has to be the motto in this winter and the next summer and the summers after that. Legs over everything. And I think the last thing that I wanted to mention was I really felt that Xerxes should have been in this game, in either in the starting capacity or coming off the bench. Then again, I love Jay-Z a lot more than most others, but I do think that he brings a certain holding the ball and then kicking it off to
control, helping you get in the control. I would tend to agree with that. One of the things we've seen so far in this season is we tend to play better with Mount on the pitch, for example, right? And when I look at why, the support offered, if you could put like Xerxes, Cunha, and Mbumo together, which I would still like to see at some point, I think you get a little bit extra support in the middle, a little more ball control, and you can still release them as runners, and that might be great, Yep,
absolutely. Yeah. Overall, I'm happy with. I'm fine with United. I'm not going to say I'm happy.
It's more accepting where we are, which is not that bad, and not as good as we maybe would hope we'd be, but more reality, I think, is where we can all find ourselves today.
Absolutely.
All right, my friend. Thank you. See you again.
Thank you. See you.
All right, Mrudul. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Make sure you unmute and I'll get you on here. How you doing?
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me? Are you all right? You good?
I can't hear you.
Give it a sec. Can you hear me now? Are you all right? All right, we'll come back. Arake, let's get you on. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Good.
I think we underestimate how hard a job Amrin has, actually, because he's not just coaching this team to tactically win, but also mentally win.
Yep.
And I think both this match and Forest shows when he talks about mentality, probably during the halftime, this team doesn't respond well to it yet. That's why I think we are so bad the first 15 minutes of the halftime, because they overthink it instead.
Yeah, you can kind of see that it happens again and again, and we keep conceding in these runs, right, where it's like 5-10 minutes at a time. It's just bam, we just get hit and everything goes wrong and it kind of falls apart.
And there's not going to be a simple answer to break that curse. It just, we need to work it out. And I also think that's why we don't go on these crazy attacking spells when we are winning, because we have seen how Bruno reacts when the game turns crazy, and he just loses every positional chance instead.
Yeah.
So he wants us to be controlling and not lose our composure, but we don't have the mentality for having composure yet.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And like someone was saying here, in football, just attacking momentum leads to goals regardless of good defending sometimes. So it's our own problem conceding momentum, losing our attacking rhythm.
Yeah.
And I agree with that, because that's kind of the issue. Like we start panicking in the attack, panicking in possession, giving the ball away very easily. And so it just starts to collapse in on us and we can't handle it from that point. You know what I mean? And that's when things falls apart. So I agree that it is a game of momentum in that respect. And often it's the inability to keep it settled in moments of possession where we start to get under pressure defensively. So we panic offensively and it ends up making the problem worse. You know, a lot of that is
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah, and like we have a good example right now of a best defense in Arsenal, and how composed they are, even if they are losing and conceding the counters.
Yep.
They just sweep it up and continue. But they have had 5 years to build that.
Yes.
So
True.
I'm quite happy where we are right now. And I think
Me too.
we're not going to build the composer during this season. I probably think next season we're going to see the fruits of this labor.
Yeah, I sure, and I agree. It's definitely not overnight, and progress is, you know, progress is progress at the end of the day. It's like
Yeah.
it is what it is. So
As long as it's forward, I'm happy.
exactly. Yeah, and like someone's saying, their mentality at home is much better. We're winning every game at home right
Yeah.
now. Confidence.
But I think Ruben told us that also having
the last game,
the
yeah.
crowd just help us.
Yep. Yeah, he said after
reset.
Forest, right? That if it was
Yeah.
the crowd had kept them going, maybe they would, you know, we've seen
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And like even if we have one of the best away support, they are not as loud
It's still
as the
different. Yeah.
yeah. So
It's a big stadium too. So sometimes in smaller grounds, there's times you can get a little bit more, but yeah, it's a big stadium.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we always we usually see it when the more experienced players go out, like we did today. We really lose the composure, and
Yeah,
Bruno
sure.
can't really rally them.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
See ya. All right. OMP, you ready to go? Gonna unmute your mic. I'll get you on here. There you go. All right. How you doing?
Hey, man. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you, though.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, no. We've had this twice.
Yeah,
I
it's a
can
bit
hear you
mad.
fine.
Damn, this is crazy. I don't know. I think the same thing happened with the other guys. So this is kind of crazy because now I'm just speaking like I can't even hear you. It's wild.
Just say your piece and we'll be okay. You just say your
Okay,
piece,
I'll go with
okay?
your hand gestures.
Yeah, you go. You say your piece.
Yeah, look, I think for me, man, it's kind of wild with this team because you get the sense of it's hard watching the process happen. Do you know what I mean? Like you can literally see like we're growing, and growth is quite uncomfortable. So like watching it play out in real time is like it's a really frustrating process. And I'd kind of liken it to like any kind of, let's say, like it's like a weight loss journey. I think we're in a stage now where we're so used to quitting that it's easier for the team to like self-sabotage than it is to kind of just like endure the pain. So you see it like quite well, like literally we'll have a moment in the game, nothing is happening, everything is chilled, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like we get a bit too complacent and we don't trust that like we're going to get through it. So rather than kind of pushing through and saying no, this is the bit of like the part that's kind of uncomfortable, get through it, we kind of say, oh fuck, what do we do? And then there's like this weird moment of like self-sabotage, bloody blah, and then it's like a frantic scramble again. And then it's like, okay, cool, we concede a goal. Then, now it's like, let's try and get it back because that's what we're used to all these years. Like, fight, let's push. And then instead of actually enduring the pain and getting a boring win, you want to kind of like get the glory of like some exciting draw or something like that, which is like, it's a bit of like a weird thing because it's like, guys, if you just concentrated for an extra 10, 15 minutes, endured that pain, you really could have just reaped the full rewards. You know what I mean? And you see it away from home. I think you see it away from home, and it's quite bad or uncomfortable to like watch it happen in real time. And I think the last guy that spoke actually made a point I wanted to make about Amarim is that he's having to kind of coach mentality and coach mindset and hunger into these guys, and that's a hard thing. We're talking about not just grown individuals but extremely, I don't know if this makes sense, but like when you've achieved a certain level in life, there's an edge that you lose. Like like these guys have
Yeah.
gotten to the top level of football because
Yeah.
they were all the best of whatever that they do. But once you get to a certain point, especially at Man United, where the environment has been very cushiony, we've kind of let players just do whatever they want. There's an edge that you kind of lose, and a mentality that you kind of lose. And I think specifically with United, I was speaking to my brother earlier this morning, and I was telling him that one of the greatest things about Man United as a club is that we've always had a very cult-like mindset where everybody just locks in. And
Yep.
you'll hear kind of like Genève or Paul Scholes speak about these stories, and the likes of Ian Wright would look at them like, were you guys crazy? Like, what the hell were you guys like? What was going on at this club? And it's kind
Yep.
of like we've lost a lot of that. And I think it kind of takes to issue, like, just another point I wanted to say around just like the whole Kobe Mano situation is that my biggest issue around that is that he's obviously come into an environment where he's seen the likes of Garnacho, Sancho, Rashford, etc., kind of get their
Yeah.
way constantly.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, well, it's my turn now. And it's like, no, dude, like that's the reason why we're in this place. And we're trying to change that. And for him, it's kind of like, whoa, but maybe this is not what I signed up for. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
this is Man United and this is what it takes. Like if you're 20 years old, and look, I don't know if I'm gonna get clipped up or people are gonna shit on me or whatever, but like if you're 20 years old and you're a young player and you've kind of had this taste for success, but you're not willing to be patient enough to work and just bide your time at a club like United, I
Yep.
hate to say it, like regardless of the talent you have, you might just not be a Man United player
I get
in
what
your
you're
head.
saying, and it's
Sorry,
tough
I
because
can't hear
it's
what you're saying. It's a bit tough,
yeah, yeah,
but like, yeah, so it's like, I think that's the biggest thing. And I think for me, the biggest mistake Kobe can ever make is thinking that I can somehow benefit long term by putting myself before the club in this very crucial moment as a kid. Because I don't care what anybody says, there's a level of foresight and understanding that a 20-year-old person, regardless of what they have around them, cannot have in life, where you have figureheads, you have people in leadership positions, people with a vision, a pathway that they can see. And at times it gets uncomfortable because you're talented and you've had the whole world kind of glazing you and all this kind of stuff. So it's hard to kind of eat humble pie and just sit on the bench again and work hard again. But like Phil Foden's been doing that pretty much all his career, and he won PFA Player of the Year. And now he's back on the bench again or playing where he can. And obviously, look, I don't think that would happen at a Man United because I think we platform youth better. But it's one of those things where like this environment that we're trying to create, it takes a different kind of mental fortitude, and it's tough. If you're young and you want to thrive, it's tough. Look at Lenny Euro. He's been arguably one of the top, players from last season, etc. But he's having to kind of be a sacrificial lamb when we have to make tactical decisions and bring Maguire on, etc., etc. And you kind of have to go through that. And I think for me, yeah, I don't get all the shit like that. People kind of give Amram or he hates Kobe, etc., because I think Amarim, he didn't even have, I would say, 30% of the talent Kobe had as a player. But what he was like a really hardworking player, the kind of guys that always show up, always work hard, etc., etc. So if you understand what it takes to kind of like push through something, he's probably looking at Kobe like, dude, if you just had like the mindset I had as a player, like you could literally be one of the best midfielders in the world or of your generation. And I think with Kobe right now, it's like you're in a very uncomfortable process of like having to kind of like parent him the right way and say, look, dude, like just lock in. Like it's gonna work out, but you need to lock in. Like this 18-month sacrifice is gonna literally make the rest of your 15-year career. But it's, in the world where you have the Yamin Lamals and all these, young guys kind of flourishing, it's hard and I get it. But it just speaks to this overall environment thing that we have at United right now. And it's like I said, that growth process is uncomfortable. And instead of enduring the pain, it's self-sabotage. And that's what's really hard. Like it's really hard watching that. So yeah, sorry, I can't hear you. So I guess that's it for me.
yeah,
But yeah, man, it's like it's tough, man. But I think where we at right now, I'm not even frustrated because it's not like I expected or I wanted, but I'm like, I understand it. Like, I understand where we're at right now. We're gonna have moments where, who knows, we might go to the Emirates and win like 2-1, right? But I think when we're at home, we need to cash in because you can see we're clearly a different team when we're at home. But when we're away, in these environments that have been like these big mental traumas for a lot of players, like, take the point and it's fine. Like, just cash in when you have the advantage. You know what I mean? I think, and unfortunately today we didn't deserve to have the advantage. We lost control in the midfield with Bruno, Casemiro, all these guys that should really be guiding the team. Like, fucking hell. Like, these are the guys that should be platforming, you know, everybody else to kind of do better. But instead, it's kind of like you have Bruno kind of giving the pass away, looking at Ahmad saying he should be forward. And it's like, dude, what do you mean? Like, I'm in exactly the position I needed to be. You just made a wrong pass, you know? So it's tough. It's so tough. But I don't know, man. Get 150 on Anderson and Wharton, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But anyway, all
Thank
good.
you, brother. I appreciate
Thanks,
it. See you later, buddy. See ya. All right, Murdo, that was good. I agree with pretty much all of that. Actually, I probably listen a lot more because I love the accent as well. Maybe it sounds South African. Maybe I'm wrong, but I liked listening. But all right, Murdo, can you unmute and let's give us another try? Okay? Can you hear me this time?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
good job. Yes, we're good. We're good.
All right, good. Well, like all the previous callers, I think I'll lean into the theme of acceptance. Like,
Mhm.
we are an inconsistent team, but then we were a consistently bad team last season. You don't go from consistently bad to consistently good like this. Doesn't happen. No one has done it. No one is going to do it. It's impossible in football
Yeah.
or anything in life, I would say.
Yeah.
I think what's surprising is, like, I rated Ruben Amorim when he came in a lot. I liked him a lot. Like, even through the bad days of last year, I still kept belief. And even then, I thought 6th to 8th will be our expected position. But then, how the season is turning out, I think we, like you said, I agree with, being between 4th and 6th, we have a genuine chance. And another thing is that the fight for top 4 and top 5, it's so congested, it's so close. And I didn't expect, I expected it to be close, but not this close. And
I think that'll sort itself out during the festive period. It always happens. It happens like this a lot. We'll find out in January where everybody is for real, The pretenders fall off always during Christmas.
True. But then what I'll say about that is, like, if you look at the top 4, like, teams like us, Chelsea and all, Newcastle, we are all below the top 4, top 5. And as much as the Sunderlands and the Bournemouths will drop down, I expect these teams to rise up as well.
Yes.
So I think, like you said in a previous stream, you said that Ineos has a plan and they want to keep with that plan.
Yep.
But I think because it's so congested, maybe they should think about maybe accelerating a bit of the summer plans into January.
I agree. We could use it. Yeah.
Plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that if we can get into the Champions League 1 year early, all the better, I would say. And another thing I would just say is, like, in terms of Ruben Amorim, for almost, like, maybe other than the City and Brentford game, almost all the other games where we've not had a win, I feel our loss hasn't been due to the ideas he's trying to implement. I think it's the actions on the pitch, especially the decision making. And there's this weird thing, when we make bad decisions as a group. It's not like 1 or 2 players, it's like 5 players, 6 players.
Yep. I know. It's a chain of mistakes, errors, and things. It's not like it's very rarely just one thing at a time anymore. That's for sure.
You can't carry half the team,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
no, I agreed. And look, and there's as well a factor in that the schedule we've had has been tough, very tough in terms of difficulty. If you look at our next game, Everton at home, Palace away. Okay, that's tough. West Ham at home, Wolves away, Bournemouth at home, Villa away. That's a lot of winnable games in there. A lot of games we should win in there. A lot of very different to Liverpool, City, Chelsea,
it's a
Brighton,
different type of challenge.
Spurs all in a row. It's a very different type of game. We can very easily win 4 out of those 6 and would be
Yes.
2 points per game. That's great.
Yeah.
And we'd all be happy. So that's part of it too. And in separating the table out, we'll start taking points off of these teams
Yeah.
that are
Right.
around us. We have to start taking points off of them. But, anywhere between 4th and 6th in the end for United, I think is realistic. But moving plans up into January would, I think, help. If it's possible, would help
Yeah.
a lot. It's just still got to be the right person, Can't be a waste.
Oh, and I just want to add on, about Amram. I know he's going to get shit for his subs this game, but I got to say, I agree with almost all 5 of his subs. Like, Dorgu, he got a yellow. Yeah, Dorgu got a yellow. We've seen him being clumsy and get a red. So I understand taking him off.
There was nothing
Casemiro
blatant. Casemiro has to come off, he said. Maguire's injured. The sub that put Šeško up, the sub that put Šeško up top and Ahmad out wide worked initially. We got better.
Exactly. We got the chances. We just couldn't, take it.
Yep.
But
And
it
then
is what it is.
And then it fell apart. So it happens.
It is what it is. We didn't lose, which again, it sounds very bad to say, but it is such a big difference from the previous, 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We have to.
It is. We're on the last 5 games. We have 11 points. Arsenal have more. City have 1 more. Other than that, that's it. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to the break. And I like the comebacks a little bit. Like,
exactly.
Mentality to score late is an improvement to me compared to before.
It's a good building block for when we want to get back to where we are at that stage. These things which we gained so early in the rebuild, I think will be, if we get to that level, will be felt as so invaluable.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later. Yeah. And then look, I don't disagree with this take either. 4 points lost in the last 2 weeks because we're soft. But we are, so it's like, I think a point of that a lot of people are at and where I'm at as well is it's like, it's not that we don't have issues. It's just, I think we're figuring out where we are. We are soft. We are not there yet. We are not a team that we're not a 90-minute team. We're a 60-minute team. And it's getting better because last year we were probably a 5-minute team, maybe a 10-minute team, and the rest was awful. But we got to keep growing. We got to keep growing and improving, and we need some more players and things like that as well. No doubt about that in order to replace and improve. But it's like we don't have as much choice, It's not, the choices aren't huge, in terms of what we can even do at the moment, Again, I think that it's even worse when Bruno and Casemiro have a bad game on the ball, especially because I don't disagree with some people saying Casemiro was decent in defending. He was, but not on the ball. On the ball, they were both bad. So we were under attack a lot. We were giving it to Spurs and coming back. Not being able to slow the game down after going ahead, it hurts us. I agree. We had it almost for a minute when Šeško came on and Ahmad went out wide. We had about 10 minutes where we slowed it down. We kind of held the ball. We kept it up. Then Maguire gets injured and we make a bunch of changes. We miss a few chances and things go bad. It's unlucky. I think it's in the midfield, it's in the midfield to control and slow these things down for sure. That's where we're at on that. All right. That's it. That's all I've got for this morning. It's 9:00 now. I've got to go get some stuff done. I might do a little bit of I might do a little bit of late recap or something like that. I don't know. I may or may not. Probably will. I'll probably get my tactical breakdown tomorrow. Maybe I'll save it because there's a few other things to talk about during the international break. But I think that's it. I thank you all for being here. Thank you for everybody who participates. Thank you for all the viewers, the chats, the donations, all of that kind of stuff. Please do toss a like on the video on your way out. Helps me a lot. Appreciate it very much. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm glad we got that late goal because it definitely improved on things. Where they were looking in the last few minutes. It was ultimate depression mode, but we fought back, got a goal. Okay. We know where we are. We'll move on. All right. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you later. Have a good one, guys. Peace out. Goodbye.